What's up, everyone? Welcome into More Important Issues. It's game week.
Let's go. Sorry, I was looking at my phone. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'm
I
listening.
saw your head down, so I was just waiting on you to react.
How much longer would you have let me keep my head down without like calling 911 to make sure I wasn't dead?
As long as it took.
Like, would you have assumed I was dead? If how long would it have gone before you've been like, he might need to call someone?
I'd have been like, Joe. Got it. All right, guys. But More Important Issues is brought to you by our sponsors: Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs, Billy Ratliff's Tap 40 Grill, and Blue Water Climate Control. And here's a quick word from our good friends at Blue Water Climate Control.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something. And it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! That is by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Ready to do and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, August 29th. I'm also doing it's football season. Football's on the TV. I think Landon's got New England, New York on as well. I've got a fantasy draft going. I've got another one to get prepared for tomorrow night. Our league is Sunday or Saturday night. I mean, it's football. You can't escape it. It's here now. It's fall. It's cooler in the evenings and in the mornings. It is ridiculously hot outside in the day, but it is football. There's no escaping it. We've officially made it to game week. That's the big one. Now we just got to make it 4 more days. That's it. Just 4 more days.
4 more days. Yeah, something that's pretty warm is Scott Frost's hot seat, right?
I mean, I think they were already fed up with him before losing to. I mean, for that game was that was not a great game to have to watch. So
to a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Brett Bielema, where has he been, by the way? What's he been doing lately? Oh, wasn't he in Houston collecting a check like Butch Jones? Or no, he's at the Patriots. I think he was at the Patriots doing that. So yeah, it's yeah, that wasn't a great game to watch. Not a great game overall. Yeah, seat's got to be warm for sure.
For sure. Love it. I love it. It's nice to
have
another team in college football it's not us, right?
Okay, here's the problem. First off, it kind of is like Tennessee and Nebraska. People are like, we can't make fun of them. First off, we can. We just have to also recognize that it's been us too. That's fine. Second, The thing about Scott Frost is we got a guy that's had a very, very similar early career as Scott Frost, who followed him up.
That's true.
That doesn't mean Heupel is going to be exactly like Scott Frost, but similar situations for sure.
I will say this, I don't think Tennessee has had a home run hire. I don't think anybody has claimed they've had a home run hire in the past, 4 coaches?
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. I don't know.
5 coaches? Or how many has it been?
We've been on a lot. That's one
issue.
But
I feel like a lot of people, national media guys, claim Scott Frost is a home run hire for Nebraska.
Yeah, for sure. And it was probably part of the coming home stuff too. So
yeah.
That might have been part of it. But yeah, no, and that was right off UCF's national championship season. So I mean, it makes sense. I thought it was a good hire. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think it changes for him. So I was wrong.
Yep.
All
definitely.
right.
Seat's definitely warm. Let's get into Tennessee.
Oh, for sure. We're talking Tennessee. Everyone, I mean, every week, every question, quarterback. We're finally previewing those positions. We will talk some game week stuff. Get ready to safely smack the sign on your way into Neyland. It's going to be fun. Vols hoop. We actually, Landon alluded to things started trending Thursday for this guy, and Landon let you guys in on it. And of course, Friday hit. I mean, no big deal.
Yeah.
College football is back. There was college game day this Saturday. That was nice. HBCU, is that like a every Saturday thing? Because that's awesome. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I mean, maybe it's not. It didn't feel any worse football than like the MAC.
Oh, no. HBCU is good football, especially like, I mean, there's going to be some good teams, here soon too. I mean, you've got, prime time at Jackson State right now. Like, there's going to be, like, the football is going to get better.
And Eddie George is at Tennessee State.
Eddie George is at Tennessee State as well. I didn't know Steve McNair. I don't know if I knew he was an HBCU guy. Like, I don't know if I knew he went to Alcorn State, and his brother's the head coach.
Yep.
So I wasn't aware of all those connections. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely good football there, and I mean, I think it's going to progressively get better here in the next few years too. But college game day was great. It was nice to just have it back. I'm honestly like, I don't sit down to watch college game day. It's normally on like while I'm getting ready and stuff. But it's good to have it back. I did.
While you're painting your face and stuff.
Yeah. For getting the pads with the spikes on them ready. Getting all that going. If you've got some questions, drop them in the chat. We'll get to them when we can. Joe Fowler's drafting fantasy too. Go Big Orange, Jason. Good to have everybody in. Let's do it. Quarterbacks. I also want to let you know that I can't remember what podcast it was now. Another podcast I listened to mentioned Mighty Joe Young this week, so that's really weird.
Boom.
I was like, what? How have I never heard of the movie? And then twice in like 2 weeks, it's come up in conversation like that. That's very strange. I also didn't. Mighty Joe Young, is Joe Young a gorilla? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I looked it up afterwards because I was like, all right, well, what's all the hype about? I've been hearing it. Okay, so like when you said it, that sounds like a cartoon to me. Like, it sounded like a Hercules type cartoon to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I expected. Not the.
Yeah, it's like a.
It's like live action.
A more friendly King Kong.
Okay, so like he doesn't tear down a whole city.
No, just like a carnival.
Okay. Interesting. Well, first off, Joe Milton, big Mighty Joe Milton, right? That's the nickname. Yeah. I believe that's the starter. Is that your starting quarterback? Is that where you go?
Yeah, I definitely think he's the first guy that they roll out there on Thursday night. I think my first question is like, do you see anybody else? Do you get to the point where you could see somebody else, or do you have to go to somebody else because he's not getting the job done?
Well, here, two things. Or, sorry. For that specific, like whether you better see at least two quarterbacks Thursday night. I'll say that.
Yeah. Because
either one guy's struggling and we need to go away from him. Like, you need to try something new. Or two, hopefully it's so in hand that you get to go to another guy and give another guy. So you give another guy reps. So you better at least see two quarterbacks. I mean, I've said that with some of the cupcake games with Jeremy Pruitt, and you never did. Don't be stubborn. Like, I mean, I get what you see in practice is a big deal, but if they're not getting it done, they're not getting it done. And what does it hurt to try someone else? If the first guy's not getting it done, what's it going to hurt to try the second guy? Like, can it be worse? Last year, it couldn't be worse. This year, can it be worse? Let's find out. Let's not find that out.
Yeah, I'm kind of more interested. I mean, I'm definitely interested to see what Joe Milton looks like under the lights because, it's a totally different game. Not even the orange and white game, which, we saw that and everybody kind of thought Hendon Hooker would be the starter over Harrison Bailey. And then, Joe Milton came in and, he was the favorite. Then you thought it'd be Joe Milton, Hendon Hooker, Harrison Bailey. I'm interested to see who that second guy is because in the orange and white game, it looked very clear who would be ahead with those two. It was Harrison Bailey hands down in that orange and white game. I know that's not a lot to go off of, but when you're in that stadium with a crowd, it does kind of like I mean, that's kind of as close as it gets to a real thing. And, Harrison Bailey just outperformed Hendon Hooker. And I don't think it'd be even if Harrison Bailey could move, and then if Hendon Hooker couldn't move, I mean, like, that's the only thing that, like, puts Hendon Hooker, I feel like, in the conversation with Harrison Bailey.
I mean, I get what you're saying in the sense that he's not a mobile quarterback, but Harrison Bailey is very athletic.
Right.
So I've got to think, from what I've seen from Hendon Hooker, and it's kind of the same for Joe Milton in that sense, I don't see Hendon Hooker being like, I don't know if his mobility gives him enough bump to go over Harrison Bailey. Like, this offense, Heupel talked about it, Golish talked about it, like, they tailor it to the quarterback. That's their main focus. So I feel like Harrison Bailey's athletic enough that if he's playing good football, they should be able to tailor the offense and be effective. So, like, I don't think Hendon Hooker is necessarily better than Harrison Bailey then in that sense. I kind of want to say, like, I don't know how much farther can Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker really be over Harrison Bailey? I guess that's kind of my question. Because, like, what we've seen of them not been very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Harrison Bailey, I think did he complete 70% of his passes last season? And Joe Milton completed like 50%. I mean, if you're looking at that just consistency-wise, Harrison Bailey is your guy. But now if those two guys, Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton, can be more consistent, then yeah, they probably have the tools to be a better playmaker in this league. Because Harrison Bailey, like, he does a lot of stuff well, but I don't think he does a lot of stuff great. And that's not a knock on him, but that's just kind of who he is. He just wins football games. That's what he did in high school. He didn't wow anybody with his physical presence. We see a lot of people comparing Joe Milton to Cam Newton. I mean, physically, he looks like $1 million, but he hasn't played like it up to this point. He played 2 games at Michigan last season and threw for over 300 yards, but both of those games resulted in a loss. So, I mean, I would much rather a guy throw for 200, 225 and win the game than 300 and lose a game. So, I think you're looking for consistency in this offense, and, Joe Milton is the guy that this staff has brought in. And so I just hope I think you definitely have more options at quarterback than you have in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, since 2017 or 2016, I guess. Well, really, you didn't really have any options in 20. It was you just thank God you had Josh Dobbs. Kind of honestly, Tennessee hasn't had a good depth at quarterback since 2005. Ainge and Schaefer, and Schaefer was only there his freshman year. I mean, when's the last time Tennessee brought in a good backup? Because you had Tyler Bray, of course, and I'm not talking about individual quarterbacks. You had Tyler Bray, of course, and then you had Josh Dobbs. But outside of that, I mean, you had no depth. I mean, Josh Dobbs' freshman year, you had Justin Worley start first two games, 2 or 3 games. Then you had Nathan Peterman come in, get hurt against Florida, after starting that game. But those guys just, I mean, I like Justin Worley a lot. I thought he was serviceable, I guess, but there was no depth there, none at all. So, like, Dobbs comes in and full-time starter in 15 and 16, but I mean, if he goes down, you don't have a guy. So yeah, probably since like 2006 is the last time Tennessee's had this much depth at where I think you have serviceable guys. Which, I mean, we could come back in 3 months, and that statement could be an absurd one too, because you would have said going into 16, you would have said you have QB depth. Well, in hindsight, you're looking back, you didn't now. I mean, I think last year the QB room was really talented and had a ton of depth, but weren't utilized. So, I mean, you can't say there's depth there when you refuse to play it. Yeah.
And, I mean, Harrison Bailey was a big man on campus last season because, like, everybody wanted to see him. It was 5-star coming in, high hopes. And then with what you had in front of him, you thought, Harrison Bailey is the future of Tennessee. You bring in 2 quality guys in the transfer portal, and it just kind of changed things a little bit. So Bill asked the question, do you think Bailey transfers if not starting? I mean, if it's anything like like what we've seen in the past with the transfer portal, yeah, he probably transfers. But I don't think he's going to transfer this year. He probably finishes
Right.
out the year because, I mean, last year he wasn't named the starter either, and he got some opportunities running there. So as a true freshman, so I don't think it's the end all be all if he doesn't start. But if he does, if Joe Milton kind of takes it away and kind of doesn't look back, I think you could probably see Bailey hit the portal next season.
Yeah, I think it's possible too, and I do. I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily been a starter named, like, hey, here's our QB1. But obviously with the Brian Maurer situation, we know that the reps and the attention has already been given out. Like, they know who the room probably has a really, really good idea of who QB1 is as well. So if Bailey's not leaving yet, I don't see him leaving in the middle of the season for information he already knows now. So I'm with you. If it happens, probably the end of the season. But I got to think, if you're not starting by now, like, Harrison Bailey seems like he's good enough to start at plenty of other schools.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you feel like you're being wronged or whether you feel like you're legitimately being beat out, you're probably still going to seek that other opportunity. Another question related to Bailey, Nugalutz? I feel like I'm saying something really dirty when I say that. Is that okay?
Nugalutz
asks, HB gets an extra year too, right? Oh, excuse me, that COVID year. Yeah, anybody that was on the roster in 2020 will get an extra year. So Harrison Bailey has that as well. It's how Evan Russell. It's how he got to using that COVID year.
Luke Lipsius, Redmond Walsh, yeah.
A couple COVID guys taking advantage of on the baseball team. I don't know if that means much for Harrison Bailey or not. Obviously, that'll be kind of determined by how much playing time he gets over the next 2 years. But
right, because I mean, he's a talented kid. He, like you said, he has the talent to play somewhere else. So if he's not playing here, he probably is going to look for other opportunities. And it's nothing personal. I mean, you saw the news today where T. Hodge went to the transfer portal. I mean, it just
surprising. Just being a hometown guy and this soon to season and kind of like the QB situation. Did you not like what information changed for him? I guess. So it's just the timing's weird, not the fact that he's the fact that he's transferring isn't super shocking. I just thought he might stay around longer being a hometown guy. That's all.
Yeah. I kind of maybe saw that too. The timing is definitely weird. But when you look at like who's in front of him, I mean, those guys are, Jabari Small's in the same grade as he is. Tyon Evans got 2 years. So that Laneith Whitehead, D. Beckwith, maybe he thought some of those guys might move positions, but they have not up to this point. So he's kind of sitting there fourth or fifth. Your second year in the program, you do still have that COVID year, but when you don't really lose anybody next year, I think that, maybe you see the writing on the wall a little bit that, I'm not going to play here anytime soon.
Right. Not incredibly
special teams. Yeah.
Right. Not incredibly shocking, but definitely weird timing. And I know we kind of got away from quarterbacks there. Okay. So Thursday night, just looking at, let's look at this season. Does the person who starts Thursday, is that the person who starts the final game?
I think that's the hope.
Scratch injury out.
Yeah.
Like, say no injuries. Like the guy that was named the starter going to be the guy ran out there against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's definitely the hope.
The hope for sure. But we've seen.
We've seen it for too long.
Lately.
That like when's the last time that's happened?
Right.
Dobbs. Is that right? Is it Dobbs?
No, I mean JG in 17 was the starter all year, wasn't he?
Dormady started.
No, Dormady started. Yeah, you're right. I think Garantano probably would have been in 18,
but he didn't.
But he got hurt.
Yeah,
but I think he would have been the whole time in 18.
With 2019, was he?
He was a starter all year as well. I believe so. Yeah,
okay.
I'd have to go back and look at who actually. I mean, 19, the only person. I think 18 was 18. I'm so just lost in years. Christ was there in 19, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it was 19, I think, that he didn't finish this. He did finish. He played at Indiana. He started the Indiana game. So I guess it was 18 that he didn't finish due to injury. But anyways, yeah, I think – but that's not good for Tennessee, him finishing.
Well, 19, they had the Trout played some.
Yeah, they did mix up starters, so he didn't start all. You're right. He didn't start all 12.
Yeah, and Brian
13
Mauer played
games.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, consistently, no one
No.
started since Josh Dobbs in 2016.
No, I mean, I think that is a harder question just because the staff is new as well. It's not just new quarterbacks. The staff's new. So I think, and the guy who we think is going to start day one is Joe Milton. Well, if that's the case, then he probably starts all year, assuming no injury. But if it's someone like Harrison Bailey or Hendon Hooker, I mean, if they're not playing great, I feel like Joe Milton, hopefully, just gets better the longer he's on campus. And so that, could, if they're not playing great, that could, be the changing point. So I think it depends on who that starter is. If it's Joe Milton, I'm less likely to say there's a change.
Yeah, I don't think there's definitely not a plan to change unless something happens. But yeah, I just don't I think he's kind of been the starter since he's been, at least at practice. He's been on campus since May, but didn't go through spring practice. So I think kind of their thought process is he's coming here to start. Now he's definitely got to go win it, but prediction they probably predicted that he was going to be the starters when they gave him a call.
Right. Yeah, he got brought here for a reason. That's for sure.
Right.
That is for sure. As far as, well, let's see.
Stats,
give me your order. Give me your order though. Who's your 1, 2, 3? I know that doesn't matter as much, but since there's such a competition, who is it? Who's playing? I know who's playing starting Thursday for you. Who's playing? Are all three playing?
I mean, I would think Hendon Hooker and Harrison Bailey probably is a week to week thing to see who is the backup. I feel like that is, maybe that's not the case, but I don't think either one of them is separated themselves. It doesn't seem like a 1, 2, 3. It seems like there's one guy and then there's the two behind him.
Yeah, I would. From what we're hearing, I would agree with that.
But I think it goes if you're playing your offense around Joe Milton's kind of mobile, so you use him in that, then maybe Hendon Hooker is your second.
Right. Yeah, looking at your game plan, that makes sense.
But I think your safest option is Harrison Bailey. I think he's Mr. Consistent. He's not going to wow you with anything, but I think he's got good enough arm strength, and the kid just wins football games. I mean, that's what
so does that get, if things don't work out with Joe, whoever the number one is, Joe Milton or Hendon Hooker, does that put Harrison Bailey in that 2 spot of hey, if we can't get it done, we're not going to wait to get to consistency at 3. We're going to get to consistency next. So does that give him that number 2 spot where he is the next man up?
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting to see. I wish I had an answer, but I guess we'll find out Thursday, hopefully.
So Thursday, did you answer who you see? I know you kind of mentioned Hendon Hooker maybe being that too. Is that who you think you see? Joe
If I was picking, I would have Harrison Bailey, but I think game plan wise, you probably go with another mobile quarterback and Hendon Hooker.
Okay, I'm going to go with my gut, and that usually gets me wrong, and I'm saying Harrison Bailey. I'm a big I agree with what you're saying, and I think that's what makes you right. But I got to think again. I'm going back to everything we've seen from the 3 of them, and it's been very, very limited. Hendon Hooker, you've seen the most of, but I hope that makes Harrison Bailey the number 2 guy. That will really probably maybe even the number 1. But if the starting quarterback has a commanding lead at half or mid-third quarter, I think you see a substitute to prevent injury. I hope there is a commanding lead enough to put a backup in. Your starting quarterback shouldn't finish the first game of the season unless you're opening with a Power 5 opponent. I mean, want to get you play these games. They're like preseason games. They get you warmed up, and then hopefully you get to get plenty of guys in.
Yeah, you play base defense. You play, kind of – you don't show a whole lot on offense either. You kind of just run your base stuff and, get in a groove and hopefully win by a big margin where you're able to get guys in there. I mean, that's we were watching, high school football this weekend, and Thursday you saw Maryville, and they were up on Powell. And, I mean, in a big game like that, but they're up so much that they could put backups in and get them plenty of reps and game reps. And that's why they're so good each and every year, because they're able to do that.
Yeah, no, Yeah, definitely. And you need to, and that's another thing too, is was that a down? Well, I don't want to get into that. Let's see it. Let's get to number 2. Yeah, let's get to number 2 guys, not just a quarterback. Let's get to the number 2 guys.
Yeah, let's get to 3, man.
Big. It's game week. I'm fired up. But let's talk some questions for game week. What's the?
I think my first question is, how much do they show? And how much are they able to keep hidden because the game's in hand? I think that's my first question. Not really game week, but in game.
Right. I I know a lot of places just do it now, but that was the problem with. Now I'm going to get into what I didn't want to get into, but that was what sucked about the Butch Jones era is you played these games, you were so vanilla, you were bad because creativity is what made your offense good and productive, and it's going to be the same with Heupel's.
And it's usually what kicked you get a slow start to the next game too because of it.
So it was you were so vanilla, you were bad. I don't want to be that. I get not wanting to show your whole hand, but it's do you not want to go why even play that game at all if you're not going to go out there and play your football? And I get you're not going to show everything. That's fine. But you need to go out there with the thought of we're going to use this to get better. We're not just playing this game because it's on our schedule, which is what felt like Tennessee did with Ohio and UMass and Appalachian State and plenty of those games. It was very frustrating. So yeah, I hope that's not the case with Thursday night. I would what the hell is Alabama going to change after watching Tennessee and Bowling Green play?
Right. Yeah.
So, just go play football. Don't overthink it.
Go win.
Jeez, yeah, don't overthink it.
Win. Can we get a blowout, please?
Please. Who's a starter? Right?
Yeah.
Biggest question? That's the question, I think.
Who's the starters? Also?
No, I think it's just who's the starter. I think that's the question.
Okay. Who is the play caller?
That's a great question too. It's a great question too. We got to ask all the good questions. I think another one that I'm really curious is how aggressive is this defense? You should get a ton of opportunities to be aggressive on Thursday night. So how aggressive? Are you able to go force turnovers? I think that's the biggest thing. You want to see a bunch of stops, obviously, but I want to see turnovers. I want to see aggressive defensive play that lead to turnovers. I think because if your defense can be aggressive this year, that helps your team out a ton. They don't have to be great. They don't have to stall out every single drive. They just got to be aggressive at times and be able to go make plays.
Yeah. B. Hunter said, how will the linebackers play? Yeah, that's another. I think the whole defense. What does the rotation look like in the defensive line? Can this team get turnovers? We didn't see a lot of that last season. And I think with how fast your offense is going to go, I think you desperately need some turnovers like that. And I think that helps out your offense, number one, and you're able to blow teams out. If you're able to jump on them 28-0 in the first half, how psyched are they to come out of halftime down 28 points?
Oh, yeah. Well, agreed. New Alutes put, I'm looking for a smooth offense and defense doesn't let BG score over 14. Pit game is going to tell a lot more. Yeah, pit game is definitely going to tell a lot more. He's right. Bowling Green is very bad. I don't think you're going to find out a ton about the Tennessee season on Thursday night, but hopefully you go out and you at least get to learn more about this team. You find first off, who the starting quarterback is. You get to find out how you're going to utilize the Jalen Hyatt, Velus Jones Jr. speed. What is the third wide receiver? How is he going to fit in? What plays is he making? Who at running back is going to be our the load carrier? I hope it just tells stuff about that. How's the linebacker group looking as a whole? Is there one guy that's getting to the quarterback? I just want to find out stuff like that. I know it's not going to be it's not going to tell me whether Tennessee can play with Florida or not this year. It's not going to tell me that, but it can tell me a lot. Can we cover the slant now? That's a great question.
Or the spread.
Like just in general, the spread?
Yeah.
Oh, the spread. I thought you meant like the spread offense. I was like, I hope we can find a way to cover that whole thing. That'd be awesome. That would be great.
The spread would be nice.
Be a dream come true. My question that doesn't really relate to the game. It relates to the game, but not the play of the game. How many people are kneeling Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about this? I think we talked about it a little bit at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I said around 90.
Someone else told me around 90, so maybe I'm crazy. I was thinking more like 75, 80. Yeah. I was thinking a little bit lower. But
I'm kind of leaning more toward 85.
I think it looks full. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm
interested to see what does the light show look like. I was at South Dole when they did theirs, and
dangerous.
It was pretty electric.
It is. It's just it gets so dark, especially down that valley. Holy crap!
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It looked like it got the people going though.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's play some ball. Also, like the opposing team, they're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, that is kind of like a weird thing for the opposing team. You don't consider that, but it's like you can't get fired up with something the home team's putting on. But it's also a very, very like electric moment. How do you not get a little fired up from it?
Yeah.
It's like it's like
too much.
When the LSU band plays neck, what does the opposing team do? There's no way they don't yell, "Suck that, Tiger." Yeah, there's no like everyone. It's like a law. You have to yell that when the band when the song neck plays. So,
right,
it's got to be hard. B Hunter mentioned we are thin at tight end. I want to see how that looks. I want to see how these tight ends fit in. That's my main thing. How are they utilizing this offense? They've got to be a part of it. I think it helps quarterback out to have a good, effective tight end. We talked about that last year. Didn't throw to him much until it didn't matter anymore. Still didn't throw to him a lot, but. Yeah, I'm interested. Again, that's the things I want to find out on Thursday. Again, I know it's not going to tell me a lot about the season, but good to see these guys in some game action. So,
Jakob Johnson just caught a pass.
Yeah, and whoever tackled him wanted to taunt and then remembered that he would have got a 15-yard penalty for just standing up too aggressively. So he stopped. That was pretty good self-control. Pretty good. That's a guy fighting for a roster spot right there.
There you go. Yeah, it's little things.
Absolutely. Graham Morgan mentioned 52,000. If there's only 52,000 there Thursday night, I might just hang up. I might pull a I forgot his name. The last time we talked about this too, I'll just tweet out a picture of me hanging up the soccer cleats.
Oh, Kongbo.
Yeah. The last time we mentioned him, I forgot his name. If there's 50,000 people there, I'm done. That's it. I quit for everything. Like I'm not a fan anymore. I'm going home.
Yeah, that would be a rough day.
I'll be playing golf every Saturday morning.
That would definitely be rough. Hopefully there's more than that.
Right.
One of my questions is how many receivers play? Got a lot of talent
10.
at receiver.
12. They're going to be pulling people off the side or out of the stands.
I guess when
Joe's
the starters
going to get a chance.
Like when the one offense is in, I want to see how many wide receivers are in that.
I think you see like a 5. Probably a 5. Maybe you have a full rotation there.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. So, Graham mentioned to his 52,000 comment, Thursday night game. Again, I know this is not – I mentioned why I hate this Thursday night game. It's not the same as App State, but it's still the opener for Tennessee.
Yeah, it's the opener. It's a night game, and it's like a new coach. There's that hope that things are going to be different. So
I don't think it gets to 102,000.
No.
Well, let's find some middle ground between – there's 50,000 people we can find somewhere in that Graham. So I'll meet you about 75, but I think it'll still be a good atmosphere.
It'll be announced 100,000 though.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right. Any other questions you have for game week for old Coach Heupel?
Yeah, I think one thing to take away from this game is does this game make you more or less nervous about the Pittsburgh game?
I think it can only affect me negative. Well, I shouldn't say that. If there's good quarterback play, like legitimately good quarterback play, I might feel more hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I think it can only affect me negatively because I know every play I see I'm going to take with a grain of salt. So it can only be if we just look terrible, I'm going to be like, well, Pitt's going to be a long game. But I also know at the same time, playing Bowling Green on a Thursday night in your opener is way different than getting up for a noon Pitt game.
True. Yeah. You have to wake up a lot earlier.
You do. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you have solid QB play, like where we look competent at that position, I think I just feel a lot better. But I mean, let's say the biggest need we've talked about defensively is like having a true pass rusher, guy that can get back to the quarterback. If there's a guy with 3 sacks, I mean, I'll obviously be like, oh, that gives me hope. But I also know it's Bowling Green, so I have to waiver those. And I mean, I'm not gonna give Joe Milton a Heisman if he plays well, but I mean,
somebody will.
Somebody might. That's good. Him and Cam Newton, just same person. But I mean, yeah, I will feel a lot better about the Pitt game if you have good QB play. I'll feel better about it.
Yeah, and I think another question I have is talk me into 67,000. He's going up.
There we go.
I like it. Yeah,
we'll get you. We might get you to 102 before Thursday.
Yeah,
we're already 15,000 in 5 minutes. Love it, Graham.
Another one is the offensive line much improved. We've heard they've kind of struggled a little bit in camp. Do they figure out that starting 5 and do they play like they should?
Yeah,
a lot of talent up front. So should be able to maximize that. Hopefully, I think having the playmakers that you do around them, having a decent quarterback, I think helps. So I'm interested to kind of see what they look like on Thursday night.
Yeah, and that's going to be it should. Good offensive line play can only help your quarterback, right? So,
yep. And then running backs, how they split those carries between Evans, Jabari Small, Jalen Wright. Does D Beckwith get some carries in there as well?
Yeah, that's I think I'm a big Tyron Evans fan, man. I hope we get to see a little bit more of him, just
for sure.
He looks like he's good both, running the ball and catching out of the backfield. So I think that's going to be an exciting one to keep an eye on. We'll see.
Ooh, did you see what Nuga Lutz says? I've watched some UCF games, and Heupel seems to be the best coach we've had in a while for managing a game. True story.
Interesting.
I mean, we've had some crappy game managers. I'll say that.
Well, the chart, it was the game manager first off.
Right.
So
can't blame Butch.
You can't blame Butch. Yeah, Butch didn't manage games. The chart managed games. He manages the chart. I don't know who manages him, but probably not. At the end of the day, you can't blame Butch Jones.
Right. Well, Nick Saban did control Butch Jones for a while.
It's true.
But now he's up in Jonesboro, baby.
We need to talk about. You mentioned bad game managers. Were there any? I mean, was Jeremy Pruitt ever good enough to poorly manage a game? Like we never even got to find out how he managed games because there were never games.
Yeah, it was never really that close.
Right. He did have that 3 timeout at Alabama. That was pretty awesome. I'll give him that.
Yeah, there were some moments where you're like, dude, Jeremy Pruitt could be the guy. But then there were some moments you're like, damn, this dude sucks.
Yeah. Mostly anytime you were pretty concerned with what was going on there. But, yeah, he did some things that got you fired up. That
like shoving the players when they ran through the tee.
I still love that. That was awesome. I've got a good shoving the player to talk about, so can't wait to do that.
Wait, you shoved the player?
I didn't. I should have.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about it.
Academy.
Let's talk about some Hunter, I want to answer this question, but I think we just need to have a full show dedicated to that debate.
Oh yeah, that would take a while.
I do think it was Pruitt, though. I'll say that. But I think it's so interesting, like the reasons. Like it's just so weird.
Yeah.
So weird. Like it's just
I'd agree because like before you'd be like, yeah, Butch had more talent, but you look at Marquez Callaway being wide receiver 1 for the Saints now, and you're just like, it might be Pruitt. And Pruitt's not done. Like this stuff is not over with.
Right. Oh, I'm pretty pissed that the NFL coaches get to watch the replay on the Jumbotron and then throw the challenge flag, where I can't watch a replay in Madden and then throw a challenge. That's just stupid.
That's definitely a catch. I don't want it to be a catch because I bet on the Patriots.
Oh, it was a catch. It was definitely a catch.
That's definitely
It was a great catch. I don't know how they missed it.
Right.
Unless he bobbled the ball going to the ground or something. But great catch. Space Mountain said he'd say Butch. I really think we need to do a full show on it. It would be just hilarious to go through all of the things that happened in both of their eras. Let's talk about
a Venn diagram.
Yeah. That would actually be well. It's funny. They really that's why I say it's so interesting, because they are like polar opposites in every way. Mm-hmm. So there wouldn't be much in the middle. But they're both. But the only thing in the middle would be terrible. Like awful.
Yeah, or
the common factor here. JG's there. You go. That's one that's in your. There you go. Landon knows how to do a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk some fall basketball. More good news.
More good news. Yeah, we mentioned on the show on Thursday that Zakai Ziegler would make his decision on Friday. He did that, and we also kind of hinted there might be a certain name already in the student directory, and it was Zakai Ziegler made his decision to come to Tennessee, enroll, reclassify to the 2021 class. He's a 5'10", 3-star point guard out of the Bronx, New York. If you remember the last point guard we got from the Bronx, it was Kevin Punter.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't know who's from the Bronx.
Kevin Punter. Right. So, yeah, I think he's a guy that, obviously was late getting a Tennessee offer, but they saw him in person, got him an offer. I think he played Brandon Miller, which is a 5-star Tennessee target at the Peach Jam, and offered him, and kind of just went from there. And want him to reclassify to already get on campus super fast. I watched his whole highlight tape. I actually watched some of those, those hoop mixtapes where they have two people playing each other. So I watched a couple of those. Dude's super quick. I mentioned he's only 5'10", so he's a smaller guard. Super quick, can shoot. Has that outside range and will pull up from anywhere. And so I think it's a guy that's probably going to be a 4-year guy. I mentioned his size. He's not the NBA type point guard. I'm not saying he can't, because Nate Robinson did it for a long time, but until he started boxing. But I think he's a 4-year guy.
Fight? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you going to buy the next Paul fight tonight?
Hell no. Are you?
No. I bought Rough and Rowdy, though, and I will never not buy Rough and Rowdy ever again. It was cool. Well worth $30. Well worth it.
Well, this fight's $60.
Yeah, I won't be paying that. No. Lofton size, Graham. He's not big, but he's like 6. He's probably 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's a little taller.
No.
But he is faster than Lofton.
Yeah, no, this guy is much quicker. Where does he fit in on this team? Is this a redshirt guy? He's just getting an extra year on campus pretty much? How does he fit in?
I think he's a guy that can maybe push Kenny Chandler a little bit. Okay. Kenny Chandler's probably a one and done. If he's not, he's going to be 2 years and he's gone.
So you see a need for him immediately then?
Yeah. And I think if there is an injury or anything like that, I think it's a guy who can come in and, I think he's athletic enough where he can handle the offense. But yeah, I think it's going to be a guy that's going to develop in your program for a while before you probably see a ton of him. Okay. I think he's a guy in practice that can really benefit your team from having, especially coming into this season.
Right. All right, that's I didn't see him as an immediate role player, so that's definitely interesting. I also had to ask, how have so many guys been able to reclassify lately, especially so suddenly?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I think a lot of them are getting get back in the class that they already should be in.
Oh, okay. So but then I don't understand how it works with high school.
I think it's more of an age thing.
Yeah, but don't you have to come? You have requirements, don't you?
Yeah, you definitely have to get your high school stuff done.
You have to take 4 English classes, typically 4 language arts classes. So what? How many people? How are so many people just preparing to reclassify?
Yeah, it's definitely something you you have to plan.
Right, but he was able to just do it all like after the offer.
That's kind of weird to me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Rick Barnes just has that pool where he's like, hey, he's graduated. Okay, yeah, here's his diploma.
Well, and the Catholic Center, he did it pretty suddenly too, didn't he? Was there plans for that? I can't say his name.
Tomba, yeah, I think his was a little bit more like planned.
Okay,
that was probably going to be the case from the get go.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know what that's like. Do they have to take a bunch of like classes in the summer to finish up?
I'm sure that's it. I'm sure. But I mean, Ziegler's not going to get that opportunity. Like he was probably enrolled in school last week.
Yeah, it's fall.
And it's like, oh yeah, I'm graduating, guys. Peace.
Yeah.
NIL factor with Graham. I'm sure NIL is a factor. I just meant like, how do they do it? Pretty much. Because it's not like they can just drop out of school. Like they have to also, and I know they get help to get into the school, but they do still have to get into the school.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's an interesting. I mean, you'd have to talk to a college coach. It's like,
I don't know. I'm pretty confident they couldn't tell you either, though. They're like, we just tell our compliance department that's what we want to do, and it happens.
Don't look at us.
Yeah. We just know what happened.
Right. He's here. He's on campus.
We don't
Scott
know
Ziegler. That's a cool name, too.
That is a cool name.
Double Z?
Yeah. A little alliteration.
There you go. Yeah.
I took English 4. I know what alliteration is.
So you can teach.
Like you learn about it
if you need to.
I feel like you learn about a little alliteration long before that. But we'll go with that. College football.
Back.
Do you have the I guess it's post-nut clarity, I guess is what it is, where like you miss football so much. It gets so exciting, and then you're laying on the couch watching Nebraska, Illinois in a 2-0 ball game, and you're like, kind of forgot about these types of games.
Damn it, Big Ten. Damn it, the Alliance.
Yeah, you're just like, God bless. You're like, I've waited so long for this. Like, this is like,
Yeah.
You're like, should I watch something else? And you're like, no, because you only get this for like 6 months out of the year. I need to watch it. I love it. I love it. It
turned out the over almost hit.
The over did almost hit. Oh,
it was 2-0 at the end of the first quarter.
I'm terrible at math, and I thought it hit. That was my only lock for this week. So I put $20 on it, and I was like, I really thought. I got nervous. I sweated out.
Okay, I gave Chad those 3 bets, and he put in a parlay, and they hit. Not a thank you, not a here's $5. I'm like, dude, Chad, that's the last time I give you any free bets.
How much money do you? I know he's throwing around quite a bit of change. How much money do you put on it?
I think $5.
Okay.
So he won like 45, yeah. But I'm like, you're paying this dude with a freaking beanie on in the summertime to give you a freaking under bet that was – it was an alternate under, and it was like 1 point off. He lost.
I forgot about Beanie Blinks.
It was the Steelers in Cincinnati where they almost broke 100.
God bless. That's awesome. I was really bad at math too, and I thought the under didn't hit, and I was pretty mad for like 10 minutes until I went back and counted. So be good at math.
What did you get at 52.5?
Yeah, I think
that's crazy. I locked it in on Friday and I got it at 54.5. So maybe that's that much.
Maybe I got it at 54.5.
Okay,
I feel like 54.5 sounds right. Yeah, yep. I think it is. I was right about UCLA blowing Hawaii out, but I think his spread was like 26. I didn't feel confident enough in that. It did hit.
Yeah, I picked the under in that too because it was like 67.
I don't remember what I probably would have put it on that. But no, I probably wouldn't have just because you never know with those games. I feel like sometimes they can. I think
there was a stat out there like Chip Kelly hasn't hit an over in like 2 years.
Really? Yeah. I feel like that's crazy. I would have guessed that not to be true, but I also would have said that their overs have probably been just like dumb.
Oh yeah, it's just
there's probably been games where they scored 85 points. But yeah, that's insane that none of them hit. And then I feel like you just never know with Hawaii. Ever.
Yeah.
So
they could always have like a Colt Brennan where they score like 50 points a game, and then
I know they've not been good the last 2 years though, or last year and this year. So
dang, they're he had 22 incompletions. Their quarterback did.
yikes, yikes, that's bad. That is bad.
Fresno State was impressive though. I was really impressed with them.
How about UConn? I mean, I guess that you still scored 45 points. I think your quarterback had like 300 plus yards. So I guess that's still impressive, no matter how bad the team is.
Imploding in the athletic department. Yeah, I picked Ole Miss to cover against Louisville. So I picked Ole Miss to cover, Ohio State to cover, and Alabama to cover.
What's Ohio State spread at?
It was 13.5. It might be up to 14, but
13.5. Oh, I think they cover. I agree with you.
And then I picked UCF to cover too. Dylan Gabriel,
North Carolina will cover.
Who do they play? Virginia Tech
5.5.
Yeah, they probably will.
Oh, Duke! You can get Duke, Charlotte over 6.5 right now.
How bad's Duke?
I don't know. I feel like that's a hammer. That's a touchdown, right? I mean, you hammer that.
I'm with you. I saw it earlier today, and I was just like, "Yeah, how bad is Duke?"
Even if they're bad, right? I mean, I know, and Charlotte's supposed to be pretty good. Tennessee, Jeremy Pruitt would have lost 2 season openers in his career if we had played Charlotte last year. There's no doubt in my mind. Dang, I won some money yesterday. What happened? They say don't get drunk and gamble. Idiots. Okay, I won 38 on that.
Joe, do you have any favorites this week? Got any games you like?
Joe can't gamble. He's a young buck. I mean, that doesn't mean he might not have some spreads, but I thought it was 18. I think it's 21.
I can't gamble, but I stay on the lines for sure.
Okay. He's preparing himself.
I'm excited for the Ohio State-Minnesota game.
You think Ohio State covers?
Well,
13.5.
Ohio State fan, so I have to say yeah, but I don't know. I think I like what Ryan is doing.
Okay.
I'll say it.
Interesting.
Away, though, I don't know. I'd stay away from it if I could.
Like row the boat, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh, at Boise State's just plus 5.5. That one's dicey.
Dude, it's Dylan Gabriel, UCF.
I know. I think I'm going to take it.
I was on.
I'm taking
Boise State?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. That
UCF.
That feels better.
Minus.
UCF feels a lot better. Okay.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I thought you said you took Boise State, and I was like, I don't know if they cover.
No.
I did. I took Duke. I'm sorry. If that's a trap, I got trapped. That's fine.
Yeah, you put a couple bucks on it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Well, and I'm throwing that in a parlay for sure. Parlays.
Yeah, my parlay is Ohio State, Alabama, UCF, and Ole Miss to cover all 40 games. It's like, can you hear me? You out?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. It's kind of cutting in and out, I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, we can hear you now. You're back. Daddy Castballs, what up? How's it going? You ready for Thursday?
Duke bet just scares me.
The what?
I think the Duke bet just scares me. That's one of those where you're like, no, there's no way, and Vegas is
trap.
right.
Yeah,
it's a trap. That's why I'd be scared for a parlay, because if I'm throwing it in like a 6 game, then that's the last one.
Who is our Coastal Carolina boys playing? That's what I want to know.
They're Citadel this week, I believe.
What's that line at?
I don't know. We'll hammer it down, though. You don't have to look. You hammer.
For sure.
I
don't even think they got a line because it's the Citadel. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Billy Giles asks, how many people show up Thursday? Don't ask Graham. I'm going to ask Graham that. I think we're sitting in the 70 to 80,000 range is where we're at.
Hey, Graham went up.
Graham
he did.
78,000.
Yeah, we've got him up. Fred Volstead asks, where's the best place to park Thursday? Depends. You paying? You free?
I paid $10 at Rush's Music and walk across the bridge. So
No. Park in Market Square if you're gonna walk that far. It's free.
you get to walk across the bridge. Well, it's easy for me because I live in South Knoxville, so I can get right on Chapman Highway and go home.
But even
so
then,
depends on where you live.
Even then, I'll tell you if you're paying to park at the church or in the lot we tailgate, it's $20, right? Or is it $40? I think mine sounds like $40. I'd pay 10 and walk. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. I think it is $40.
Never mind.
I will take dibs on my student parking pass, by the way.
Okay, that's genius.
You can pull right up G11, start walking down Prime.
There you go.
Let us know your best bet.
How far is your
best
dorm from? Which dorm are you in?
Hess, so I'm 10 minutes with a slow walk. I'll be there in 5 though for sure.
Be getting them legs ready.
Are you hold on? Are you gonna be late? Like, are you gonna be a regular student and show up late, or you get early to the games?
No, I'm there. I got a lap till 5:30, but I'm going fully dressed and I'm shooting straight from there.
Wait, they're keeping you on class on Thursday? That is highway robbery.
Do they even care about football? I mean, what is this?
We need to fix our priorities.
Dude, please go in there with your face painted or just shirtless with a T on your chest. That'd be hilarious. Oh, that'd be great. I'm looking at everything else. There's not a ton else.
No, I'm hammering Coastal though for sure.
I do like the North Carolina Virginia Tech. I don't know how good Virginia Tech is, but I like Sam Howell,
and I'm taking them by a touchdown. So
Oklahoma and Tulane's kind of, I don't know, 26.5. That's a lot of points.
I don't see Coastal on here, but I know they play.
You think Wisconsin beats Penn State?
No.
You think Penn State beats Wisconsin?
Yes.
Ooh, that's plus money.
Wait. Who's Wisconsin's quarterback? Not that it really matters. Do they return that guy?
Is it Mertz? He's a freshman last year, right?
Was he? Okay. I was trying to remember that. I think I'm going to go with Penn State, but I don't know. What are the odds? Is it a stay away from?
It's 4.5 is the, which I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah. It seems like a game I'd stay away from. I don't know.
What about Kentucky? 29.5 point favorites over Louisiana Monroe. I kind of want to take Louisiana Monroe. I'm definitely not touching it, but
yeah, I'm gonna wait that one out. So I don't see Coastal on here. They play Thursday.
It probably doesn't have a line.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I can bet on women's table tennis in the Middle East, but I can't bet on Coastal Carolina.
What about Mississippi State, Louisiana Tech? The over is 52.5. That's not a lot of points.
No, it's not. Michigan State and Northwestern. Northwestern's a 3.5 point favorite.
Ooh. I wish it'd be down to like 3.
Yeah, it'd make me feel better.
Iowa 3.5 over Indiana. I kind of like Indiana. It is at Iowa though.
It is a day game though, not night. It's not nighttime in
Oh my God, are you serious?
I
had Patriots -3 and they won by 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they end up winning. I'm behind, but
yeah.
Oh, that's pass interference though.
I mean, I lost it anyway. That was a 2-point conversion.
Oh, that was a 2-point conversion. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
God, it's so trash.
Gotcha. I was wondering why the clock didn't roll. That makes sense, Caleb. All right. You got any questions?
I think that's all we got.
All right. Well, does Children's Hospital still offer $10 to park? I think they do. But the only time I ever pay to park is for tailgating. Other than that, I park in Market Square or State Street or whatever and walk. So used to walk across the bridge, and then they stopped letting you park for free behind what is now or was Smoky Mountain Grill. I think they reopened it. So
where at?
Right there behind the auto repair shop, the Smoky Mountain Grill.
Oh, yeah.
We used to park behind there, and then it got sketchy. Like,
we used to park where the apartments are now.
Yeah.
There used to be a lot right there.
Right. Yeah, but that one was paid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like
yeah. We there were some break-ins, and then someone, we don't even know if they were associated with Smoky Mountain Grill, started charging. It was sketchy. So for a while we moved to where did we start parking? Oh, across the street from Shoney's. So it was a good little walk from there.
Yeah.
That was a haul. I mean, that added on like an extra quarter mile. But good times. Market Square that's a great move.
I know at campus they take like a shuttle too, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's all. I think you have to have a parking pass to park at Ag.
What about the one? Yeah, I guess anywhere at the shuttle you might have to have a parking pass.
Yeah, I don't think they. Basketball season, you don't have to have a pass to park there.
You could park at University Commons over that way too.
They charge, I think.
Yeah, it is. You do have to pay,
but you could get on a shuttle. You walk over to Ag and get on a shuttle, or that's an easy walk. That's not a bad walk at all.
Yeah.
So getting up that hill is the worst part, but it's not a bad walk. Okay. Did you say any other questions?
That's all I got. Somebody did say, "What do y'all like in Georgia at Clemson?"
What's it at?
It's at 3.
God, there's a lot of questions for both teams, really. I'm sorry. I mean, JT Daniels is obviously like the starter and stuff, but I'm just not confident he can come in and win big time ball games yet. Yeah.
I'm going to say Clemson.
I was about to say I think I'd take Clemson. I'm assuming they're the favored.
Yeah.
I think I'd take Clemson. Billy Giles asked, what about Bailey? I assume he's referring to the quarterback situation. I think Landon's kind of sitting in the boat of logic of him sitting at 3 just because of the styles of the other two. I'm in the boat of my gut, and I just think he's good, but I don't think he's good enough to be the number 1. And from what we've heard, I think he's good enough to be the number 1. From what we've heard, it sounds like Joe Milton is. So I've got to go with Bailey being second string right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
We'll see.
I mean, we really like Harrison Bailey. It just doesn't seem like he is going to be a starter. I mean,
right.
Didn't win the job.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Ooh, LSU, UCLA. LSU's 3.5. Is this next week? When is this game?
I don't know.
No, it's this week. Or it's next week, but I kind of like LSU minus 3.5.
Yeah.
I do have a bad thing. Like, I usually will pick SEC teams over whoever they're playing. So that kind of gets me in trouble sometimes. But
right.
It's also pretty safe.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a fair thought, though. For sure. Most important of the week.
Most important. You want to go first? You want me to?
Will you roll out first?
Yeah, I can go first.
Get some things in order here.
Justin Reed, the DB for the Texans, got to kick off today.
Dang it, that was one of mine. I should have gone first. That was awesome.
And he freaking booted.
He had a great kick, plenty of height.
Nice is that the new thing? Like, you try to get a defensive guy who can do that? It's just a better tackler? I mean, I'm not trying to take a kicker's job, but
my only thing about that is, like, how often does he how often is a kicker? So how the DB has to be pretty dang good and consistent, because otherwise you're giving up something that happens hopefully a lot through the course of the game for something that may happen once or twice a year that your kicker is required to make a tackle.
That's true. Yeah.
So it just depends. I mean, it varies. That the DB would have to be really, really good, though, or whoever's kicking would have to be good enough that you wouldn't lose something.
But dude, he freaking booted that thing.
Oh, he did it well. I'm curious how consistent he is. He said he wants to try field goals next.
Okay, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
I mean, that surely he can at least make an extra point. Didn't Ocho Cinco get to kick an extra point?
Maybe.
I think he did.
I feel like a guy who could probably do that is Odell Beckham Jr. I feel like he's
a pretty good look. He's not as good as Ocho Cinco was, but yeah, really? he's pretty good. Yeah. Yep. I mean, that dude's better than his like form and style look better than Ocho Cinco. So I would guess he's better. Yeah, he got to kick an extra point against the Patriots. I don't know what year this is.
Nice.
It was posted on YouTube 12 years ago, so a long time ago.
Dang.
Shocked I remembered that. My most important is Phillip Rivers. Did you see his talk after
he got his first win?
Yeah, and he was like, man, he's like, I try to remind these kids all the time, like, he's like, I have so many good football memories, and most of them, he's like, come from high school. Like, that's where most of my good football memories are. And he's like, I try to tell these guys, because we have a few that'll go and play at the next level, but, like, most of them, like, this is it. And he's like, not that I want them to think, like, high school or college and NFL and fun. Like, it's a great time. It's like, these are your best memories, though, and you need to enjoy it. And I was like, man, that's what high school football is all about. But
he also never won a Super Bowl either. So.
He never won a Super Bowl. And he played at NC State, so not a ton of big games.
Right. My next one is Cofield. Did you see their banner to run through? I think it was against Scott County or Scott High School, whatever they are.
I think it's Scott County.
Okay. They said it said, hope y'all hoarded that teepee because the Jackets are gonna run through you like Taco Tuesday.
It's a weird one. That was just like really, it was a lot that didn't really relate to the game.
Yeah, I mean it was cool that they like that's
they went out on a limb
it's
for
witty.
sure. Yeah, it is. They went out on a limb for sure. But yeah, very that was a strange one.
Hopefully there's like a backstory to that. Maybe some kid pooped himself the last time they played.
That's the kind of stuff we need to know. That would have been awesome. That's it. I think that's all I got for my most important. Phillip Rivers. Love the guy.
I got a Vols quarterback commit. David Jackson set the Center Grove High School career passing record.
Nice.
Still got, I think, 7 or 8 games left. So, yeah, props.
I love that I texted you. Martinez and JG are the same person, and then everyone talked about it. I was like, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that.
Yeah, I said the Spider-Man meme without even getting on Twitter, and there was a billion of them.
Right. Love it. We're all in the same way with it. Everybody just dialed in. That's how you know it's football season. Everybody's on the same thought process.
Absolutely.
Fail of the week.
Fail of the week. I have the Mets.
Okay. Just sucking in general, or
specific kinda. So the Mets players are flashing when they do something good, they flash if they hit a base hit, they put the thumbs down. And Javi Baez says, when we don't get success, we're going to get booed. So they, meaning the fans, are going to get booed when we get success.
Interesting. How will they do that? Is the team just going to stand up and boo after wins?
That's what they're doing. They're putting the thumbs down. So you do something good and you boo. I'm just this seems very unhealthy. I feel like a marriage that doesn't work.
Oh wow! You're saying they're married? Fans of the team? They're one.
They're
one in the body of Christ. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, interesting. I haven't heard
it's
that.
When people say don't say they when you're or us when you're talking about the team and the fans. I get to say that. You get to say that.
Any fan should.
Right.
Whatever. That's a debate we've had. It's because somebody had to tweet about it last season. But
yeah.
God
I can say whatever I want, actually. That's a good thing about having your own show. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Within reason, probably.
Love it. My fail of the week. Trent Dilfer. Not a great look.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. He shoved that kid.
Yeah, you can't do that.
He didn't hurt him. He didn't cause harm, but he shoved the kid.
Right, you can't do that. And then kid, not a great reaction at either. So It's
Well,
I don't know, like we're in that time where you just can't, like, you got to know you can't do that stuff anymore.
Well, it's one thing. A lot of people are probably gonna be like, I don't have a problem if a coach puts his hands on a player. It's not put the hands on. If he was just like moving him from a situation that needed to be de-escalated and was just like carrying him off pretty much like he was at the beginning of the video, that's one thing. But he shoved the kid.
Yeah.
Like he shoved him. So stupid. And my thing, like to Trent Dilfer, is he's kind of like, I lost my cool, blah, blah. I'm like, what would you have done if like you played at a high level? What would you have done if a coach had done that to you? Like, how would you have reacted?
Yeah, that's true.
But he did apologize. I'll give him that. It's not. I don't think it's like that big of a deal. He just looks, in my opinion, like an idiot. He looks incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the biggest fan of Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, they also won 62-0. So it's just like,
what happened to cause that on the sideline in a 62-0 win?
It's like, dude, I know you're competitive, but Jesus Christ, he just missed a tackle.
Golly, I was not aware of that fact. That's tough. That's my only fail. That's what I've got.
Yeah, not a great look. Hope they get that figured out. I mean, the team seems to be doing just fine. So I don't know what adversity you had. I have another one, actually. And you might think this is like a most important or like a good thing. But apparently this isn't the only team to do this. But FAU has changed the title of their head football coach.
I have seen it. I saw that and then saw where a couple of teams have already done it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be now called the Haggerty family head football coach after they received a $2.5 million gift from the Haggertys.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Is that what they required? Hey, we're going to give you this $2.5 million, but we want names on that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how you get names or buildings with names on them.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Right.
I'm like, how about you give us $1 million and we don't put your name anywhere?
Right. And first off, I don't think it should just be the head football coach, but like it should only be named for people who have like been like, if Tennessee named it like the Robert Nealon head coach, like that would be an appropriate name to be attached to the head coach title.
Yeah.
Not some random family's name because they gave some, like, first off too, if you're going to get something like that, you better have like consistent big, large payments coming into the school.
Right, not just one lump sum. Right. You probably won the lottery. I mean, is
that the first thing you do if you win the lottery? You drive down to UT's campus, and sit down with Danny White, and you're like, you can just go ahead and tell the Haslams that they're done. It's me. Is that the first thing you do?
Maybe.
It has to be like the big lottery, obviously. Like, that everybody buys a ticket for.
Right. And even then, I don't know if I'd be paying more than the Haslams.
Probably not. You're like, I'm just going to assign the entire lottery check over to you, actually.
Yeah, maybe I'll just I'll win that kind of money and I'll start screwing over truckers.
You should word that differently. Are you a lot lizard?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I think I would fund Lindsey Nelson.
Okay, that is a man of the people. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, give me something to actually give me something I want to put my money towards.
You're going to be the Haslam of the baseball program. That's what you say.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Haslam, stay away from our baseball program, please.
God. Well, they have to. That's the thing. That's the balance you have to find. They have to be close enough to give money, but far away enough that they don't really impact anything.
Yeah.
Perfect balance. Do you have any other fails?
That's all I got.
It's kind of like Kyle Shanahan's just a weird dude. It's on my TV right now. It's creeping me out. Guys, it's been a great episode. We appreciate you guys joining us. Billy said see you on Thursday. We will see you on Thursday. It's going to be a fun one. We're actually doing Wednesday. Our episode will be this Wednesday because of the Thursday night game. We will do a short keys to the game on Thursday. Landon will be around Nealon to do it. I'll be at home. Can't wait to do it. Game day's back.
It's back, baby. I'm super excited. Did you figure out your couch beer yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. You got a couple days.
Yeah, I got a few days. I may just have to go with like a classic Miller Lite, but we'll see.
All right, guys. Appreciate your time. Go Vols. It's officially game week. I want to thank Joe, our producer, for hopping in here and doing his thing. And dude, I'm ready. I got my orange on. I got my orange polo ready for tomorrow at work.
Okay.
Wearing one probably. I got the football helmet right here, so I mean we're good.
Keep it on you.
Yeah, we're just ready. I would put it on, but like that's kind of a sloth face mask to put on. Like I'm kind of little, so
I don't know. That's kind of cool because you don't see those face masks often.
yeah, it's definitely like this dude's head is humongous.
Oh yeah,
like whoever wore this. So, all right, guys, we're bringing the boat in, and we out.